All right. Welcome in, everybody, for this nice little fun chat with Crypto Dream. I'm Sal with Simply Investing. I see some of your guys are already in here, so glad to glad to have you folks in here. Anyone on my side, if you're on TikTok, if you want to come in and check out the video or just listen in while you're at work, we're more than happy to have all the support. Definitely appreciate you guys and really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. So we're here. We're going to talk about quant and everyone's favorite. We're going to try to have these every Friday, talking about particular cryptos. And definitely, you guys want to give Crypto Dream some support and support his channel, support his TikTok. He definitely has a good viewpoint for everything that you have, and also help us go. We're both trying to get to 500 subscribers, so really help us out. Be really appreciative. And if we might open it up for some Q&A later on. I'll put the link in the description for you. So thank you guys, and let's get started. We're going to start sharing the screen here, talking about good old quant. So I'll kind of lead this in. I'll let we'll get into a little bit more of the details, because I'll tell you right now, I already have money invested in quant, so I'm not paid. We're not paid to say this. I think Crypto Dream is a little bit different than what I have to say. There's a lot of great things I like about quant, but some of the basics, it's been outperforming Ethereum and Bitcoin in the last few days. It has about the same tokenomics as a Bitcoin does, with a very limited supply, but it is a banking token relative to the new iOS 20, was it 222, and of course it is heavily involved in CBDC projects. So I know there's a lot of people out there who are great to say what you like about quant, but let's hear from Crypto Dream and hear his thoughts on good old quant here.
Yeah, I'm completely against CBDCs. There's an incredible amount of things that go good for quant. Just the CEO, Gilbert Verdin, like he's worked, just checking out his LinkedIn. Of course, he's the CEO and founder, the Chief Information Security Officer. He's worked for BP, HSBC. The list goes on. One thing is in LinkedIn, it talks about volunteer experience for Fed Payments Improvement Community, Secure Payments Task Force, 2017 through April 2018, a year and 2 months. So this guy's, I mean, not to mention the stuff he's done in the UK, but I have a lot of issues with CBDCs. I read this book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, and it talks about the Federal Reserve, how it started, and how they basically use money to keep the rich rich. Now, like I said, this could be a great investment, especially because this is where rich people have their money in. It's just not something I'm for. But what anything you'd like to say to what I've said?
Well, I'm with you there. I know that the head of the Rothschilds investment groups or assets is a part of quant, and they have a lot of money invested in quant. There's a lot of large institutions that people question that are involved in it, and that does worry me a little bit, because I really don't like them having too much control. However, it has a great opportunity for us to get in early, because even though we're a little bit behind them, we're still going to make a great return. Although I believe in the project making me money, I don't believe in the project long term enough that I'm always going to be a supporter of it. I'm not a fan of CBDCs. I understand that they're going to be used for backing fiat currency and the banking system, but I do believe that there is a nefarious reason behind them. I don't like the control factor. If you become a quote unquote dissident with any country, whatever, disagree with the politics of the parties or whatever you may have, they can shut your wallet off, and that could cause drastic harm to the average person. I mean, we could just look at China. They've been operating with pretty much very close to CBDC with the yuan, because the yuan is now digital, has been digital for the last 5 years, since 2018, I think. Because not many people have cash and don't accept cash. You can only use it with a specific app on your phone, and that's causing chaos, and that's not even a CBDC.
Right.
I get the fear behind that, but as far as just an investment to make and build wealth, I have a firm belief that that's a really good asset to get in, because it has enough potential to make life-changing income for an individual.
Right. I mean, this thing is, from what I heard, is patented. So, I mean, it's not like open source or anything where you can kind of check out what they're doing with the technology. But
No, it's very centralized, very unfortunately very secretive in a lot of things. You have to be a direct investor in there, and it's unfortunately not something. It's just not something that a lot of crypto goers really like. You want A lot of us in crypto want open source, transparency, clarity, and this is not something you really get from Quant, other than a little bit about the tokenomics and a little bit about the history of the people involved. Now, I will say this: as far as investing, like, I like the management team, because it seems like you have experienced, seasoned individuals who not only know how to run a company and run a business and run infrastructure, but also they have the experience to be able to work with other people and different opinions and recognize true talent. So there's a lot of potential if you do have money involved in there. That is kind of my pretty much a straight thought about it. But other than that, I don't really pay it. I'll be honest with you, I don't pay much more attention other than what they're trying to do. It does have value, and I'm just paying attention to the largest wallets holding it. So once I know that they start selling, that's when I'll probably start selling.
right.
Real quick here, shout out Reptile King. Glad to have you in here today. Hope you're having a wonderful time going to that haunted house. Shout out to Crypto Caddy, another great supporter. Glad to have you in here. Hopefully, you guys on TikTok can go and support Crypto Dream's channel and TikTok. He's a great supporter and a moderator on my channel. So hopefully, you guys can go there and support too. But we appreciate you being in here. All right. And I promise you guys, I'll try to get your comments, but we're going to have open forum at the end. So be patient. Just might have to repeat it or hold it towards the end.
Yeah.
But I did want to kind of go through, because a lot of the news today is just about how it's being compared to the other cryptos. So it's not really informative news, but informing Bitcoin and Ethereum as far as its potential, and it generally goes in a different direction and is the last mover in every case. I apologize if I get this name wrong. Parissa, uh, thanks for joining in. Thank you for your support. So what's your prediction for Quant for the bull run? Cody and I have somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 during this next bull run. But other than that, anything else is going to be pretty pushing it. And those are pretty optimistic bets, in my opinion, too. I don't really consider them a low bet for it. But realistically, 800 to 1,200 max would be the most I can see, because it's in an area that's not really talked about a lot, which is just tokenizing real world assets. But it has a little bit of negative press around the Rothschilds banker being involved, and also the CBDCs, of course. And XRP to the moon. Sorry, we're not talking about XRP today. Maybe some other day.
So when did you first hear about Quant?
I first heard about Quant 2 years ago, and it was from Cody, and it was during our infamous 2.5 week ride with my moving company, where we were talking about all things crypto. And it was we were just talking about it. I watched a lot of videos. There was one really good video that I watched that made me kind of buy into it. And it was like right when we got done that next job that we were on that route, I was like, I'm just going to start DCAing into quant, and that was it. And I did a little bit more research on it as we kind of went in a little bit more, as we invested a little bit more, and I started realizing that big money was behind it. So I said, you know what? If they're involved, I should be involved, because they usually it was a couple other guys and one guy I knew who was a trader at Goldman Sachs, and Goldman Sachs never gets their hands dirty. So as long as I follow his path, I will follow success with it. So
Right.
that was kind of my reasoning for getting into quant. But as I learned more about crypto, I started really investing when I learned that they're really focusing on uh, tokenizing real world assets, which for a lot of you guys, if you don't do a lot of properties, you don't buy a lot of rental properties and things, that can make the process go so much easier. I mean, today alone, the property I closed on today took really about 2 weeks, 2 solid weeks of work to get that stuff done. And I think tokenizing the real world asset could make that happen in a much shorter time frame, which means more time for me, more business I can do, and I could focus on other things rather than having to deal with this closing for like 2 or 3 weeks and going back and forth with bankers, realtors, the loan officer. So that's what I'm kind of hoping it changes. But at the end of the day, I understand that CBDCs play a big part, and I'm watching that as well, because as soon as it starts getting too negative, I'm going to exit out of my position.
Right. What was it I was going to say? I keep seeing these messages.
No
King
worries.
and David and all you. Yeah, the tokenization of assets would be incredible for everything. Um, how many competitors do you think are actually can go against Quant?
Um, for transaction speed, just really the standard like XLM and XRP and Hedera, because they're all about the same. But as far as tokenizing real world assets, it's the only one that seems to actually have a system in place. There's a couple others that had it, but then they disappeared. Like the whole project just vanished or crumbled into oblivion. So Quant is the only one over the 2 years that said, "Hey, this is what we're doing, and we're going to do it." Now, the only other real good competitor could be Chainlink,
Mm,
because they can do the same thing as Quant's doing, and they already have the network set up to handle the speed.
yeah. Um, is HBAR a competitor? Do you know?
As far as I know, they just do a lot of payment systems. There's no tokenization of real world assets. They're not really. They might have it in their white paper, but I haven't seen anything focused about it. I would say they're more of a competitor with XLM and XRP. They're just straight speed and payment systems, like getting the money from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible.
Right. When I was reading about this, I saw that its original match supply was 45 million, and then it was burnt, and then it went down to was it 15 million now, which is less than the overall supply of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I
So
think it's just shy of 16 million. Shout out to David Misner. Hope I got that name right. I don't like to get anyone's names wrong. Um, Chainlink, it's an ERC20 token, just like Quant, and it's built with a lot of the same programming and somewhat very distinct. But the only difference is Quant has the patent on their actual code, and it's not open source, whereas Chainlink is a little bit more open source, and they have validators for their network, and anybody can become a validator with Quant. You can't. It is what it is. Like if you didn't get in early, you just missed the boat on it. Let's hear. Let me get to some of the others. Shout out to your Renaissance. Welcome in today. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for being a great supporter. Shout out to LJWB. The IMF is creating their own quant. I haven't heard about that. Maybe we could. look into that a little bit later. There we go. Shout out to Off Creek Gang. Welcome in. Colorado Rockies here. Glad to have you in. Shout out to Big Jerome, another great moderator and great supporter. Thanks for sponsoring the stream today. And shout out to Crypto Caddy. Thanks for congrats on your closing today. Oh, thank you. It was definitely nerve wracking, and I kept having to put more and more money up to the table to try to close. And shout out to LJWB. Could you take a look at SHX? You know, I can do it. We might be able to have time at the end where we could do it a little later today. But definitely glad to have all you guys in here. Thanks so much. And shout out to Robert. Welcome in. Glad to have you in today. I think ICP will do better. Okay.
I'm more of a fan of ICP, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe we can cover ICP on the next one too for you guys.
Yeah. Do you know how many banks are tied into this? I think JP Morgan had something going on with them, but I can't really find
the big banks that I know and pay attention to, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citi, are involved with this, but there's over 400 banks across the world networked with Quant. A few in Europe, a lot in Africa, a few in South America, and several banks in the U.S. are involved in some way with Quant by either direct investing or directly or participating in their network there. But I know JP Morgan, Citi, and Bank of America have invested in the infrastructure and the development of their program with Quant. I know that much with them. Other than that, it's hard to say because they're not actively advertising what's going on the back ends with it.
Yeah, they're kind of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But was it I think 9 million is in the public market, and then was it like the rest of it for the company?
Yes, I think there's a total of, I think it's close to 10 million, and then 6 million is in reserve to pay developers or fund the development of the network. Because right now, even Quant is hard to get across on exchanges right now. And I think since the beginning of this year, it's been really, really low levels of Quant, because sometimes I could put in an order for Quant and it doesn't go through, or it sits there and pens for a little bit, and then it kind of comes through on uphold. That is.
Yeah. And when things are hard to get, increases demand, scarcity.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's what it's been maintaining the price level. Okay. Shout out to LJ. SHX is a low cap XLM ledger. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, we could take a look at it and maybe later on the stream or down the road. Shout out to your Renaissance. Did you buy a house today? I bought pretty much a complex, a duplex, about 15 duplexes, and I think it's about 60 rental, 1 bedroom and 2 bedrooms. Shout out to Magnum. I bought Quant at 40, got lucky. Yeah, but you're double your money right now. You can either hold and dollar cost average for a while, or take your profits now. Make sure you do it on your terms. Shout out to CVO. What's good, my man? Happy Friday, you too, buddy. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for the stream, and thank you, your Renaissance. Appreciate that. And shout out to Jesse from Austin. Drinking brewski, that's a good one. There's a couple others in here. I want to make sure I get you all. Parissa and Nuvadrap, thank you guys for the follow. Really appreciate the support.
Fire King's asking which banks are involved. It looks like Binance is supposed to be the highest, and then it's Coinbase. Then it kind of drops off to like 4% for KoiCoin.
Yeah, shout out to Fire King there. Thank you for your support there. It's on crypto.com, Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, and of course Uphold. And I think it's on Gemini as well, but I don't think you can move it off of Gemini right now. I know the top the top ones you can move it off of, but you can't move it off on Gemini. And I'm not really too fond of Gemini. I don't use it anymore ever since I learned that the Winklevoss twins were involved. But I don't know. I don't like the way that they're running that platform. But that's neither here nor there. Uh, I just don't. I would recommend you get it on either Coinbase or Uphold because you can get it off of there pretty quickly. And right now, Uphold has if you every $20 of crypto you buy, you get an entry into an XRP winning, so you can win up to 20,000 XRP.
That's a win.
Yep, that's definitely a win. So if you guys are thinking about dollar cost averaging, definitely go over to Uphold and do some buying. And every coin on their network can be transferred to your hard wallet. So I
Okay.
think that's a win. They're just remember Uphold's a little expensive, but it's also that's one of the things that they do for us is have a lot of giveaways. Same thing with Coinbase. I think Coinbase is doing a giveaway of 2 Bitcoins to one winner and 1 Bitcoin to another for every purchase of crypto that you do on their platform.
Yeah, David was asking about Uphold.
Oh yes, and shout out to David. Yeah, Uphold. I'm not paid. I'm not a paid supporter of Uphold. I just really like it. Have they have been a very good company to me for being such a loyal customer to them. So I don't have anything bad about them to say. They fixed my XRP debacle with no
Mhm.
problem. So I'll always continue to use Uphold. They're fast. It's straightforward, and it has little videos on how to do everything on Uphold. So if you ever want to learn, if you're new to crypto and you're trying to transfer stuff off to a hard wallet or figure out things, they have little videos on how to do everything on there. And I see a lot of people in the chat on TikTok are all Uphold too, so we're glad to have you in here. Crypto Caddy Coinbase has better prices than Uphold. I use Uphold for crypto, not on Coinbase. That's true. Coinbase has lower holdings of the cryptos that they need, so that's why they offer a little bit more. Uphold's cheaper, but they're the most expensive platform, but they are very good and very reliable. And I'm also invested on the accredited investor side with Uphold as well. So, but not by much. I don't have anything more than probably 0.001% of stake in that company. There's definitely people with way more bigger holdings than I do on it. But anyway, uh, I do see you guys all comments. I promise you guys I'll get you guys in just a minute.
But yeah, there's a so when you have Quant and everything, that's how they pay people and everything. I'm trying to really remember this. I know you for like an annual subscription, it's supposed to be like £100.
Mm-hmm. There was for like developers, there was like a certain description. Maybe we could pull it up here. Because I have when I beginning of this year, Cody and I did kind of a deep dive on Quant. We pulled up everything, including their white paper. And I know their white paper was a little hard to find because it's not very direct.
Right.
But in order to be a developer on there, you had to your subscription and all your has to be paid in Quant on there, and developers can earn Quant through there. Uh,
Which I
if that
mean,
Kim, I see you there. We'll have you on in just a second. I'm gonna bring you on in just a second for it. Um, I think the developers. I do know that all the transactions of tokenized assets, you will need Quant to be on there.
yeah, and that forces people to use it. I mean, the reason the US has been so successful is because everyone uses their money. So if you can have
Yeah.
the system set up to where everyone's using Quant, then
Mhm.
it could be really profitable.
Absolutely. And that's a surefire way to keep the demand even across there. So even if the value of it goes up, it's less likely to go down because too many people want it and to hoard it because the system's designed so that way it's not overspending it for the activity on the market. It's designed so, hey, I need to have it and hold it. And they already have exchanges saying, hey, we need to get it and hold it because there's not much out there. We need it for potential customers. So they're already kind of playing into that. Let me get up through some of these. Shout out to D, thanks for the follow. Shout out to Magnum, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate your support there. And shout out to Vive Creative, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate you in there. I do apologize because some of you guys are just commenting so fast, so we're missing some of them. But drinking, a lot of people like Uphold. But shout out to Danny. No one ever gives crypto.com credit. They're good too. Yeah, they are good. I have one of their credit cards. I just stopped using the platform since I took out my Atom out of the DeFi, but there's nothing wrong with it. Your Renaissance, do you think a portfolio with tech stocks, military and equipment, cryptos, and maybe some oil? I can get to that to you a little later. We're kind of focusing on quant right now. Yep, I think we're all caught up there. I promise I won't miss your questions there, buddy. But we'll get to you quickly. And Kim, if you want to come back on in about 5 minutes, if you're still in there, definitely appreciate it. If you guys want to give your thoughts live, certainly just click the link. We can join in. I'm going to post that link in there too for you guys. There we go. All righty. But I also want to go over this because this is a fairly new article too. That their Quant joins UK Finance. So, as you hear, they're proud to announce that we have joined UK's Permanent Financial Services Association. We'll be speaking at the conferences and the summit and everything, and they're getting involved in a lot of the events going on in the UK, which makes sense because they're rumored to be developing UK CBDC, which is going to, from rumor, subvert the pound that they have. They're trying to switch from that right over to the CBDC.
Yeah, and I mean, they're trying to go across nations, so if they can actually get what they want to do going, it'll be insane. And the guy has connections to the UK and US, so I mean, if someone's to do it, it'd probably be him.
Yep, and the fact that that bank, you can see it right here, HSBC, the chief executive officer of HSBC is in there and on board with them joining the UK finance organization and summits. So that means they're already focused on bringing this into the mainstream and bringing it to the kind of bringing crypto to the next level, but really bringing CBDCs to the next level. But without CBDCs, CBDCs can't move without crypto pushing them forward. There's just no way you can have a CBDC base without having quant because once UK passes quant and pushes crypto through and their CBDC token through, they're going to by default probably get Ethereum and Bitcoin and have to hold it to back the CBDC along with quant. That's why I consider Ethereum silver, Bitcoin gold, crypto gold, and then quant crypto platinum because it just has that much value that it's going to be able to pull up a lot of things with it.
Yeah, this just to go over it, it's on the Ethereum network, right?
Yes, it's a ERC20 token.
So it depends on Ethereum, but I mean, I'm sure things can change in the future.
Yeah, I mean, things can always change. Ethereum's not set in stone as much as Bitcoin is, and I'm not gold. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but it seems like Bitcoin, because it's so decentralized, it's just now that it's out there, it's out there. But do keep in mind though, anyone who has Quant, you need to burn Ethereum to get it off your hard wallets and move it around. So the only way you burn Quant is in the Quant system, but Quant tokens operating outside burn Ethereum tokens to move it to move it around and to pay other people and to pay, I guess, to move it to other areas. So why I'm still thinking the Ethereum is going to benefit heavily from Quant moving into the CBDC market, and they're kind of going to tag a value. Shout out to David on Crypto Dreams channel. What is I'm guessing you're referring to what is each one to crypto. So crypto silver is Ethereum, crypto gold is Bitcoin, and crypto platinum is Quant. I think they're just going to be hard tokens to come by. Either it's going to be this bull run or the next bull run. Shout out to CJ Jones. How much Quant do you need to be a millionaire? If we're going off of what we predict for the bull run, you probably need about I'd probably see you probably need about 1,000 Quant to break a million in a bag, and that's going to take a while to create. Unless if we see another dip back down to the 50s area, and then you can, $200 every 2 weeks could really get you a lot of Quant. But right now, most people are only dollar cost averaging 1 or 2 Quant, so it might take you a while to get there. But you'd have to have about 1,000 if it hits if it beats its all time high and hits 2,000 in value. So I hope that answers that for you, CJ Jones. But glad to have you in here. Thank you for your support and everything, and also thank you to I can't tell if that's Artcraft. I'm going to say Artcraft. I hope I got that right. Thanks for the follow there, buddy. Really appreciate you joining in. And shout out to David LTC.
I don't think that made his list of gold, silver, and platinum.
No. LTC, I like what they're trying to do for Bitcoin, but I'm taking the pump and then I'm going to be cashing out during the bull run. It's just I have it in my wallet as a bet for just this bull run. That's really it. I don't see it as like a long term solution because Bitcoin's not a currency and LTC is trying to make Bitcoin a currency. And I just can't see Bitcoin being utilized like that. But that's my opinion. I would definitely recommend anyone definitely do a lot of research for yourself before you decide to consider Litecoin as an investment like that. Oh, shout out to Crypto Cleaner. Thanks for the follow. And you're welcome, David. Glad to have you in here. I also want to say is with the UK, with it joining the UK summit, I have a feeling that Quant's also going to be the bridge for a lot of unbanked countries. So Quant might also move into countries like Zimbabwe, where they're really suffering economically. And I think a lot of countries that are suffering economically, like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, the Congo, this will help give an alternative for their citizenry to at least get out of their situation there. Got a couple questions here. Let me go back to Fire King. Shout out to you, buddy. Are those the only 3 you're buying at the moment? No, I have 7 cryptos I have in my wallet that I steadily acquire. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Quant, of course, but XRP, AdShare, Chainlink, Dot, and Litecoin. And I'm not sure what Crypto Dream has, but that's what I can speak on. And shout out to Mark Thought on Stacks. I think it's a good one, but we're not here to talk about Stacks. But I do use Stacks, his payment system, for my moving company because it's fast, efficient, and I get all my payments the next day, which is very, very very beneficial in a moving company because we need the can't have the cash flow stop.
So if this was available to you, would you be using this?
The quant
Yeah.
the quant payment, yes, absolutely. I would definitely use it to I'd definitely be using the real world assets, the tokenization of the real world assets, and possibly be using crypto for payments of cross border payments too. So, like if I wanted to buy property in a different country, it definitely would make sense. Or if because my family's Italian, we travel to Italy, we could save a lot by converting US dollars to quant and then just spending quant over there, and they can convert it whenever they want at their convenience, instead of us having to go to these exchange booths, exchange the currency, and take another like 2 or 3% hit on what you're trying to exchange. um Shout to 710, glad to have you in here. Do you think quant will drop under $90 again? Probably. I don't think we'll see 50, although I'd like to see 50, but we'll probably see it back in the 80s as this relief rally finally cools back down. Shout to Lewis, glad to have you in here. How many dot do you have? Oh, I have. It's about 8% of my portfolio right now. My portfolio is about 1.5 mil. So, and I have it staked on the Nano Ledger, which I recommend everybody have the Nano Ledger because uh Nano Ledger, and then I have Arceus Wallet. Arceus Wallet's a little bit more has a little bit more annoying features than the Ledger does, but I like it because hopefully you can use the card to do in-person crypto payments. So I don't even need to pull out my wallet or anything. I can just use that metal card and kind of transfer my tokens over. Um Shout out to AZ Uber guy. What do you think about using crypto trading bots? Market's too volatile for bots to really work, but that's just my opinion. My brother has did write a crypto trading bot, and it worked until it didn't really work. But it's hard because you're trading lines of code with lines of code, and I guess things get overlapped a little too easy for one to be truly efficient, like a really powerful trading bot for the stock market. And thank you, Greg. Alvi, thanks for the follow. And any guys in here, I know there's quite a few new people in here. We've had almost 40 people in here at one point. Guys, go in, like and follow our Crypto Dreams channel too. And come on to YouTube as well to help give us some support.
I don't know if we mentioned this, but this is also used for the healthcare sector, which has
Yeah.
been huge over the last 4 or 5 years because of all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the because like just like tokenizing real world assets, it has a play in healthcare as well. I've been talking about this for a while, and it like if you can take that same process over to your healthcare record, it'll make it easy and fast to transfer the information for like let's just say you're traveling to another state, God forbid you get in a car accident, and now you're in the hospital and they can't contact you and they have no idea your medical history because right now they have to call every doctor, pull everything in, and kind of and figure out on the fly if you don't have a medical card. With if you can tokenize it they're going to do with the real world assets, it could just be right on your phone or your hard wallet, and people have copies of it and can instantly transfer over all the information. So I mean, you're talking like a 15-second transaction speed with Quant. So that's about as fast as it takes for someone to get that information, which could be life changing for a lot of people.
But yeah, this just to kind of go over this. This, of course, is centralized, which is something I'm not really for. There's varying different degrees of decentralization. So, like, I mean, people consider Bitcoin the most decentralized, but there's different ways that, I mean, if you're a miner, then you have some kind of influence on how Bitcoin operates. And I don't know, but When it comes to quant, of course, we know the people involved. We see a face instead of just a mystery. I mean, the team, of course, we gone over the team, but the team's pretty huge.
Yeah, I do get that because it's a mystery around who created Bitcoin, and there's a lot of conspiracies out there, especially one about it being a psyop from the CIA. But
Right.
at the same time, no one has the source code, so that's kind of a little worrying. But at the same time, it's open enough that we could track everything. Whereas with Quant, if I wanted to track the network, I could do it only so I could track your wallet, but I can't track your transactions in the wallet. So it has a
Which
little bit of privacy, but
Which I mean, like people used to say that Bitcoin was anonymous, but pseudo anonymous. Where I mean, once they know your wallet, they can track you. But this is not the same. It's like I said, it's patented, so there's more secrecy. Which I mean is an advantage for a lot of people, especially wealthy people, that they could do transactions maybe more secretly than Bitcoin. So a lot of industries would be into this. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be popular, but right now it's hidden enough that only like I've only ever heard hardcore crypto people talk about Quant. I haven't seen much about any from anywhere else. Like I haven't seen like been waiting in line at the grocery store and hearing two people talk about Quant.
Right.
Like I've only heard about it from people like Cody's age, people like Crypto Dream, or anyone who's like really hardcore into crypto. Even some of the traders, like the YouTubers and traders, they don't talk about Quant, and so it's kind of under the radar, which is I think exactly where the investors of Quant and the ecosystem want it to be, kind of under the radar, quickly gaining value without anyone paying attention, and then before you know it, it's this big Goliath, and then you kind of can't stop it. Kind of like BlackRock.
Right.
BlackRock under the radar for so long, and then all of a sudden it was just big, and then now it's just too big to really for people to fight it. It can fight off anything, any criticism from it.
Yeah, we talk about billionaires, but this is $1 trillion company. It's just unstoppable as far as we know. It'd take years to be able to compete with BlackRock, Vanguard, and the other one.
Hmm. Yeah, they just have too much. I think. Well, I think Vanguard, Fidelity have. I think Vanguard has 7 trillion, Fidelity has 9 trillion, and BlackRock has 31 trillion under management.
Which is more than most countries. I think China and US are like the ones that
Yeah,
might
it's
have that.
only it's got more than like 99% of the countries in the world in assets, and which is crazy. And they are affecting change
Yeah.
because like and it's just the way it is. But
When
the best. I'm sorry. Go ahead, there,
when the
buddy.
fitness was going on, like BlackRock, the Federal Reserve was actually asking, I think, BlackRock to buy their bonds. So it was something.
Yeah, because unfortunately, BlackRock's going to be the only BlackRock, Fidelity, and Vanguard are going to be the only ones to buy the bonds that the U.S. can go because China and Japan and Russia. Well, we sanctioned Russia, so they can't even participate in the World Bank, so they can't even buy anyone's debt right now, other than maybe China, Iran, and any of the other sanctioned cordoned off countries. But this BlackRock's also part of the reason why I'm into Quant because they haven't mentioned it, but it's like their crypto team isn't just talking about Bitcoin; they're talking about Quant, Ethereum, and a couple other tokens. And it's just something you gotta pay attention to, even if you don't believe in Quant. I mean, someone who like BlackRock, if they decide to say, "Hey, instead of like 500 million, we're going to put in 500 billion." I mean, that's going to I don't know what that would do for the value of Quant when someone announces that they're putting that level of cash in. And it also helps that BlackRock's biggest competitor, SoftBank, made too many bad bets and just lost so much money. So now they can pretty much do whatever they want because SoftBank was the other one that was kind of really like slipping its fingers into crypto, but they lost too much on WeWork, Theranos, and I think they lost a total of like $15 billion. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't. It's more. It's way more than that. It's got to be because they were involved in like the last 10 big company collapses. Um, Shout out to Fire King. Are you concerned about Dot laying off 30% of their staff? Not really.
I know a lot of people are leaving Dot, right? That's the one that everyone seems to be leaving right now.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are leaving, but laying off 30% is just, they have to become financially aligned with the revenues. And I think everything will come back when everything uh when the bull market comes back. But I am still watching it because I'm hedging my bet in Dot with Chainlink. So
I was also going to say with BlackRock, it's kind of hard to predict because years went by of them just like saying bad things about Bitcoin, and then I mean, they're just trying to buy it cheap, it seems like, or because they're all into it now.
yeah, and here's the thing about BlackRock and the financial industry, and this is for everybody listening, is that these guys will tell you don't invest in something, make the price drop, and then they'll buy as much as they can, and then all of a sudden when they feel like they had enough, they'll start telling everybody, "Oh, we're coming out with this," just like with Bitcoin. No Bitcoin, no Bitcoin, no Bitcoin, no Bitcoin. Price dropped. Oh, when the price went to 15,000, I'm sure they bought a crap ton. And then all of a sudden the next year they're saying, hey, Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin ETF. So that's how BlackRock really makes a lot of money. And that's kind of in a illegal SEC area. But believe it or not, that type of manipulation isn't regulated by the SEC. That's regulated by the FBI because it's considered banking manipulation. So whether it's crypto, stocks, or whatever, that is illegal. But they always seem to wash their hands of it. But that's allegedly. But I am a trader. I worked on an environment for 9 years. I've seen that type of stuff happen. And my own fund, the last fund I worked for, participated in that stuff where they would talk down a company to drop it while putting a short on it. And then when they get all the stock, they pump it back up and then they sell it. So
Yeah. I mean, like, if we get sued by the SEC, we can be destroyed. But like BlackRock pays 2.5 million fine for SEC for misleading investors. Like,
mhm.
that's just a joke. Like, they do not get punished the same way as the rest of us. So even if they do get in trouble, it's
Yeah, if they get in trouble, I think the biggest fine they're going to get is maybe 200 million, which will be a pittance to what they make. I mean, they already calculate the fines into their profit margins. That's how predictable it is for them. And that's crazy because most people would say, I don't want to do anything illegal. I don't want to do anything wrong. I want to do it legitimate. And believe it or not, there are a lot of legitimate, trustworthy people that work at BlackRock. It's just that if you want to keep your job there, because there's a lot of people that make a lot of money, they have to, drink the Kool-Aid with them.
right.
So, but hey, thank you guys for being in here. Got a lot of supporters here. I can't. I don't know. I got your name right before. As Uber guy, I hope I got that right again. But thanks for the support and sponsoring the live. What are your thoughts on XRP and XDC? Um, I'm already strong XRP. It's 13% of my portfolio, and I've been investing in for the last 2 years. But XDC is also a good one. But I think XRP will win out among all the banking tokens for for uh, for speed and everything because the speed hasn't been matched yet. Shout out to George. Quant is doing very well. Yeah, it's still holding its run up so far. Shout out to Renaissance. How many X do you think Quant will do the next bull run? Um, really, a conservative bet is a 5X. A desired outcome is 10. Over optimistic is a 15X. I mean, but any of those is phenomenal investing if you can get any of that. So, shout out to hello, it's Mike Larry. Should I sell my quant? I'm not selling anything. I didn't even take profits. I just kind of held it. And whether it goes up or down, if it goes down a little bit more, then I will dollar cost average in a little bit more. Let's see if I missed any other comments.
Are you waiting for like a 10x or double your money or what?
I usually go for double between 50% up or double my money
Mm,
in the long term, but or something because like I have Apple stock and I'm up phenomenal on it, but I'm not selling it. I'm just holding it.
yeah.
And
Would this be one that you would hold longer or shorter?
Quant, I would hold it for probably long term, probably like my stocks, hold it between 5 and 10 years.
Okay.
I've already been holding it 2 years. But if it hits my price target of 1,200 per token, I will take some profits. And then when the bull run comes back, I will buy some more. Um, it's just not something I may or may not hold for longer than 10 years. It depends on what happens with CBDCs. If there's too much negative things about the CBDCs, then I'm exiting out. If there's if it if there's a little bit more regulation but open and it's not all the crazy conspiracy stuff around it, I'll probably hold it. And I think you're probably going to need to interact with Quant if the tokenization of real world assets happens. So I'm probably going to hold it between 5 and 10 years. It's not something I'm going to dump as soon as we get the bull run going.
Right. I remember you saying today that you're not like a day trader or anything.
No, I cannot day trade. And I've seen day traders when I was a trader, and I always made money by making long bets, whether it's like 2 months, 3 months, or a year. But day trading or even swing trading, I just saw too much money get lost, and I just don't want to be involved with that. But that's my risk preference. So as you can tell, I'm very steady, very steady. Um, Shout out to Game Talk. Hey, thanks for the follow, Game Stock. I'm not so sure about Game Stonk. Okay, I got it. There we
Mm.
go. Okay, I got you there, buddy. But thanks for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the live. Uh, Shout out to Greg Alvery. I hope I got that name right. NXRA, your thoughts? If that's a crypto, I haven't heard about it. If it's a stock, I could take a look at it on our Sunday stream for you. Yeah, I think we're all caught up. Oh, I gotta go through all the people. So, GameStop, thanks for the follow. Also, shout out to user 7267, Coco. I hope I got that name right there. Uh, I can't even pronounce that one. No, I'll just call you Sir Give because that's the best way I can pronounce it. And Greg Alvery. Also, thank you guys for your support and the follow. Really appreciate that there. Uh, and hopefully, you guys can like and share the live. Maybe we can beat our record this time. Get over 15,000 likes. That'd be great. And if you guys can like and support the stream on YouTube, anyone watching on YouTube, really appreciate that.
Yeah. I most definitely appreciate just to throw that out there right now that you invited me on and we were able to do this.
Yeah, I'm glad that you had time. I know that this, despite what people always think I'm the busier person, but no, a lot of you guys are a lot more busy, have a lot more work going on after your guys' work with your families, kids. I know kids can be a handful. I don't have any kids, and so I when I'm done doing stuff, I'm usually free. So, but I appreciate Crypto Dream for coming on and sharing his time, taking an hour away from his family to come on here.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, brand new baby. Yeah.
oh yeah. Hey,
Turned
congrats to that.
4 months the 23rd.
Oh
That's
wow.
fun.
Yes. Definitely. I mean, like I said, I don't have any kids. I'm not opposed to kids, but I'm at the point in my life right now. I will watch your kid for you for a little bit, feed them cake and ice cream, and then give them back.
Oh no. You're one of those.
I'll make sure that I'll be the cool uncle. That's what I'll be. Um, Shout out to Fire King. Has it already been an hour? Dang, yeah,
Appreciate
it's
you.
been an hour already. It's crazy, but time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, we can open up to open forum. I'm gonna try and get through some more of these more of you guys' comments here. Shout out to Azer Uber. When do you think the U.S. dollar will go towards a digital dollar CBDC? Probably when we're confronted with, because I think we're going to bail ourselves out with more debt and more money printer go burr kind of deal. But I think that when we hit the next financial crisis and we can no longer kick the can down the road, they're probably going to start dabbling in CBDCs. But they were also supposed to be making a quote unquote $1 trillion coin made out of platinum to back the currency. I don't. I don't know if that's going to still in the works or not, but the best thing that we can do, or that as a country we can do, is to help. I should say is to help bring back manufacturing to here, because right now we're really a service and consumerist economy. We need to be more of a productionist and bring a sense of building back to the U.S. and start exporting again. Because I don't know if you guys know, but a lot of the the switch over from China happened in the '90s. I grew up as a kid in the '80s, and like American made toys were the stuff. Like you had like these big toy cars made out of tin. Transformers were made out of tin. Your lunchbox, everything was adorable. Like it was like built like a brick. You could just throw that sucker off the roof and it'd be fine. Um,
Do you
but
think the country
Mhm.
is actually going the opposite direction of globalization? Because to me, it's like every country is kind of trying to fight for themselves right now with all the economies going down.
uh, yes, we've had globalization for a long time. Let me just pull this one down because we're kind of done with that one. Uh, we had globalization for from pretty much started in the '80s and then went to pretty much now. And problem with globalization is like in 2008 when everything got tied so tightly together, when one person fell, everybody kind of fell with it. So it's kind of like we're all tied together. One person fell. It took a while for everyone else to trickle down. But I think I should say old world thought countries, like countries that still tie on to their traditional values, don't want to lose their nationalism. Whereas you got the Western world moving into communism, and then you have communism, like you have China who's communist who's moving into capitalism.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's moving into the opposite directions. Whereas we had capitalism for so long that certain people that figure out how to truly benefit from it are starting to pull towards communism to where they can have absolute control. And then we're trying to pull. China is realizing maybe we should ease up because they have their youth are self-deleting. They don't want to work. There's people. I mean, people are standing up to them, and they are a totalitarian government. So
Mm.
they're realizing we got to start changing things. Shout out to Cali X2. Thanks for joining in. Hello to you too, buddy. I hope you had a great day at work. And shout out to I'm not gonna say that middle part, but Butterboy. I just took out a loan for $200,000 and threw it into XRP. Uh, if you told me you took out a $200,000 loan and bought a triplex, I'd be like, yes, good boy, good. But crypto, I don't like buying stocks or crypto on loans because when you do that, they get liquidated, and when you get liquidated, that means you get called, and you got to pay that by 5 p.m. And I don't like that. So I saw a direct message there. I think he already got muted. Um, but yeah, Butterboy, that's a pretty risky bet. As their Uber guy, that was my idea. Give them an idea about making $1 trillion coin. Um, C. Jones Harmony prediction. Um, I think Harmony might unfortunately be the worst performing gaming token. So I was in the beginning, I was invested in it and I was staking it, but I de-invested entirely from it, and the coin has completely crashed. So I think it's down like 98% of its value. It's a risky bet. It's in a lottery bet, but be careful about that, CJ Jones. Shout out to Fire King. Companies have to pay higher wages, but consumers don't want to pay higher prices that come along with it because, those poor CEOs can't afford to only make several million a year. Well, I'll say this. I own I own four businesses where I have direct access to the finances. And I'm human myself as well as everybody else that runs businesses. And it's very tempting when you see that amount of money not to either pay yourself or you have to have a lot of discipline. My discipline comes from I worked at Radio Shack and I saw how mismanagement of funds went and how mismanagement of the company went and how terrible it was for everybody at work. Because I know I had a lot of people that were my former coworkers who, unfortunately, when Radio Shack went under, they self-deleted because they put all their time, effort, and energy into building their career at that company. And I'm running a company. I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible for 150 people that work for me, just on my moving side alone. So I cannot play God with that money. I have to reserve it, keep the business afloat first before I even think about paying myself. And trust me, it's very tempting. My moving company has 7 years worth of expenses, payroll, everything for 7 years in an account in a couple local banks here. I could easily just say, you know what, times are good. Let me just sneak out about 4 or 5 million out of there. No, we're not going to do that. No, because that's how that slippery slope happens. And I have two direct competitors that live that lifestyle off their company, and I feel like it's a disservice to people that work for me that I'm constantly working their bodies to live my lifestyle. I do not do. I don't even buy expensive office furniture. I mean, look at the stuff. Most of the stuff here in this office is from junk removals. Like there's nothing like I'm not even the desk I have my setup here is I got from Office Depot for $100. I waited till it was on sale. I am very frugal with spending the money that all of us in my company, including myself, put in for the worth. Now I know there's a lot of people out there say cap that are like, I deserve to get paid more. I do take on the weight. If we go bankrupt, I'm screwed. I have to liquidate everything. I'm shut down for 7 years. And I have to go work it. I have to go work a job. I'm definitely not going to go work a management career again because I'm like, well, you have bankruptcy. If you went bankrupt, you're going to pull us down. So we don't want to hire you in that. So there's a lot of negative things that can happen if you own a business and it goes south, which 99.99999% of people do. So and after seeing 2008, and I was 11 years old when 1993 happened with the big real estate crash in the early 90s. I saw how not reserving for your business will affect other people. I mean, I had kids that I went to school with that their parents suffered greatly. Marriages collapse, undue stress. When people work for you, they put a lot of faith in you, and you should put a lot of faith back into them by reserving it. And then that's just my opinion.
Right.
Uh,
I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. I try to just associate with people I want to become, who I want to be, and the people that I surround myself with. I mean, you're one of them. I try to learn as much as I can from you, and I appreciate you.
Oh, well, I appreciate you too, Crypto Dream. I definitely don't recommend my path for you. If I could do this all over again, I probably would just passively invest in real estate, not start a business because a business is very risky. And I was lucky enough that I had enough money with myself and my brother that we were able to survive some of the hardships because there's nothing like putting in $500,000 into a business and then the lockdowns happen and you're all of a sudden your customers disappear for a week. It's very scary and it takes years off your life. I don't recommend that to anybody. especially if you have a family. I mean, think about what's good for everybody first before you take on that level of risk. I definitely recommend just keep your credit score at 700 or better. Try to save as best you can. Invest in some real estate properties or pay off the mortgage on your house as quickly as possible. So your house is no longer an investment, it's your home because any investment can go to zero very quickly. But I definitely appreciate all you guys. Let's go. I'll put the link in there again in case anybody wants to join. I still have a little bit of time before I'm about to head home. If you want to join us live, I put the link in on there. We'd definitely be happy to have you on. And if you want to come in on live on TikTok, just hit the guest link down on the right corner and you can hop on live. You are definitely, everyone on YouTube can hear you as well. And shout out to Ramirez. Thanks for the follow. And shout out to Bootlicker. Thanks for the follow. Um, Shout out to Butterboy. It's okay. I liquidated business credit cards that are 0% interest for 12 months. I just pay 2K a month. If you're comfortable with that risk, I'm just not comfortable with that risk. I, the best thing I can say about debt is Henry Kravis had a version. He was a big leverage buyout manager in the 80s and 90s, and his thing was debt tightens a company and tightens your personal um, you're like your personal focus so you can make more money, and he's kind of right, but the stress involved, I don't want to do it because when I had I borrowed $280,000 on my moving company, and that was my only major stream of income at the time, and I had to push myself and my teams consistently to make sure we had that money every 2 weeks to pay that debt down.
For me, I read the book, The New Confessions of the Economic Hitman, and it talked about IMF going into nations and then giving them promises that they would make money and that they were well off, and then like basically enslaving nations to debt. And I can't help but think of debt as slavery, so I try to stay away from it the best I can.
Yeah. Debt that's not earning you money, and you really can't get to that level until you have a good financial foundation, is slavery. Because like I see a lot of people even my age coming up on 40 that have student loans that they just can't pay off, and it's like you're really shackled because it takes away your potential, and it's just a new form of slavery. When you can't pay it off, it just makes it worse for you. Shout out to CJ Jones, Soul Predictions. I don't know. I'm a little scared about it being a pump and dump right now. Not saying the project's a pump and dump, but it seems like someone's pumping it because there's nothing going on with the community or the program or anything really. They haven't even done much with fixing the blockchain against crashes. The only reason I think it hasn't crashed is because it hasn't had the same traffic flow.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to predict all that because I mean, like I remember. Well, of course, I don't really trust Shiba Inu, but Shiba Inu always had great news come out, and the price was not benefiting from it.
Hmm.
Um, I just don't fully understand. I think the people that are on the inside know some news, and then they're going to sell once it's released to the public or something.
Yeah. But also remember, there's about $700 million worth of Soul that's in the FTX wallet, so that's eventually going to get liquidated too. I expect though it's going to go down, probably drop 50% with the next big run, uh, drop on the. But with the bull run, it's probably going to get back to maybe $90 just because there's still a lot of people that know about it that think it's still a good investment that haven't invested in it yet. But I think this next bull run is going to be the biggest dump of retail investors. So we have no idea how how many people will get involved, how much money will get dispersed, if that makes sense. Shout out to Bullet Labs, bro. I am on Solana. Okay, well, hey, there we go. I should come on live if you want to tell us why you believe in Solana. And shout out to Knight Templar. I love the reference. Thanks for the follow there, buddy.
Soul, I mean, like the only reason I like Soul is just because Easy, the YouTuber, has it, like his NFTs on it. But there's nothing really that stands out for me on Soul, and I don't think it's something you should rely on when it comes to like not crashing or anything.
Yeah, I was pretty hyped about it when I heard the phone coming out about a year ago. But after that, there's no news. And then when I found out FTX, it seems like hasn't been confirmed, but allegedly that they've been pumping that coin. So I wouldn't put it past them that it happened because they were holding a lot of it, but they were doing a lot of weird degenerate stuff towards the end. So it's hard to say if it was manipulation or if it was just one of their chaotic bets that they were trying to make. And shout out to Knight Templar. Thanks for joining in and supporting the live. Really appreciate that. Shout out to Crypto Caddies. Soul had too many issues. Yeah, and I'm scared that they're one big issue away from losing investor confidence, and that kind of sits in my mind. Shout out to Butterboy. Thank you guys. Love you all. Hey, we love you too, buddy. Glad to have you in here, and thanks for the
Appreciate you.
follow. Really appreciate that. Make sure you also follow Crypto Dreams channel too.
Appreciate it.
So I mean, we've been on for
Yeah.
an hour and a half, or almost an hour and 15 minutes.
I
Still
don't know
got
if
a
you can hear
few
my
minutes.
kids, but they're most definitely running around.
Yeah. I haven't heard them yet, but I can imagine that they're just going crazy because they should be getting the zoomies now. When I took care of my younger cousins and brother, it was usually around the 7 o'clock range. They would get the zoomies and start running around everywhere, all over the house. And me being a teenager, I was ready to just go to bed at
It's
that point.
wild. Their energy level is wild.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there was a guy on Discovery Channel. I no, not guy. I think it was the MythBusters that they proved that kids have more energy to run the same equivalent level of Navy SEAL training multiple times in succession and wear out Navy SEALs in the same training. So if like they brought like a scale version of it down, it was kind of some similar things that test their body in that way. And the Navy SEALs did the training twice. The kids were like running laps, just going and going and going. It's just crazy how much energy you have when you're new, when you're young and new and fresh. It's really ridiculous.
I do not know if I want to tell my wife that. I can tell her she's awesome, but then she'd be like, see, see.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's pretty crazy. Shout out to Crypto Caddy trying to help you get to 15K likes. Oh, we appreciate it. Shout out to Kenny Birub. I think I got that right. Thanks for the follow there. Shout out to Jay. Welcome in. Glad to have you in here. And let's go. And the graph. If you're referring to Quant, the Quant's just going up too. Shout out to Bullet Labs. Quant is still my guy though. Yep. I think Quant's in a lot of your guys' main portfolios. Shout out to Bullet Labs. Bro, do you think Sheeb is dead? I don't think it's dead overall. It's just not going to have any activity till the bull run.
It's
It's
hard
more
to
like a
be.
lottery. Yeah, it's a lottery call. If you want to put like a $500 bet on Shib, that's not bad, but it's not dead because a lot of retail investors talk about it, and it's going to be with the Doge and Pepe coins that they get into. Um, Shout out to Upsold. I'm not sure what you're saying. Proppy house market. If I'm getting your like, look, I'm 40. I'm not big into emojis. I'm sorry. Uh, you might have to type that one out for me. That's a little bit of boomers seeping into me. So shout out to Steve Eth. Glad to have you in here. One of our great followers as well. Thanks for joining in with us tonight. We're kind of pretty much done, Quant. If you want to check out the live replay, you can go back and go to my channel, Simply Investing, 6638. Give us a subscribe, and also uh, you can watch all the replays of the lives, and also you can go to Crypto Dreams channel as well and check out the live there and rewatch it there for us. Shout out to Head Cornerstone Media. Meme coins won't be the same next bull cycle. I don't think I think they'll be the same as they were, in my opinion. I just don't think they'll have staying power. I think they'll pump and then they'll crash. And it'll be unfortunate because I have a feeling a lot of people will lose a lot of money on that. Um, Shout out to Cali. Pepe is getting some traction. People are starting to talk about it. Yeah, because people will know the meme. Other than that, those things don't have any other value. I mean, I think Doge you can stake now, but I mean, it's just going downhill. Shout out to Upsold. Proppy is a better lotto call. It could be. I mean, I always say allot yourself for like 5 to 10 lottery calls for next bull run, and you just try to wait. Once you start seeing things go up, make your bets, and let the dice roll on those. That's just my opinion. Um, That's a big one. Shout out to Stevie, Harry Potter, Obama, Pac-Man, 8 Inu is my meme choice for the bull run. I'm sure that'll make it just because of the name. Shout out to Head Cornerstone. I would agree that XRP is a meme coin. I don't think so. It's definitely got a lot of utility, and Ripple itself is making quite a bit of money. Shout out to Dave. You can stake Doge. Yeah. It was after the last bull run. The creators of Doge realized that, oh my God, so many people believe in this. So we'll come back and we'll try to add some value to it. But it's too late. Like they didn't really want to take any account in value with the project. It was made as a gimmick. So I think you can stake it now, but it's kind of pointless because it just keeps losing value, your coin. So
Yeah, I think it was made similar, like a copy of Bitcoin, but I haven't heard anything other than Elon Musk hyping it up all the time.
yeah, that's
Or
it.
he hasn't even done it in a while. I don't think it's even effective anymore to hype up.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think he had a talk to from his SEC lawyers
Oh,
and told him knock that shit off. Shout out to your Renaissance. What meme coins are worth investing in? I'm wouldn't say they would be investing. I would say it's more like putting a lottery call on it. Shout out to CJ Jones. ADA prediction about $1.50 for this next bull run. I think it still has the highest amount of developers, and they've just been having a lot of activity over the last couple weeks, I think, or maybe a couple months. Say, because I noticed there wasn't any like traction, and then out of nowhere, like they were starting to hit their timeline on their projects, and all of a sudden it started gaining traction. And I do apologize. Bullet Labs quant prediction. I say 800 to 1200, but Cody is on this thing. Cody, who's not in here today because he's working, is saying about 2000 for quant. Shout out to your rent. So, what lottery meme do you prefer? I would say do the Pepe coin because that's probably going to have the most traction out of them all, just because of the name. And shout out to Fat Boy Reddit 81. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that.
yeah. The only thing that stops me from Pepe is that whole multi-sig situation that happened.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Shout out to David Misner. It's based on LTC. I think you're correct on that. I think you stake Doge off of LTC or some. There's a unique way to do it. I'd never really pay attention to it because I never had Doge, so I couldn't quite tell you there. But I think we're gonna call it quits for tonight. I hope you guys liked our talking meeting about quant and everything. I know there's so many on here. Shout out to Jay. Do you like Cube? Not sure. I haven't heard of shout out to Bolt Labs. Yeah, I love Ice Cube. He's an OG.
Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure about what Cube is. So, but I'll have to look into it, buddy. And I'll have an answer for you on the next stream for you. But shout out to Head Cornerstone. Ada will always be in ETH's shadow. Charles is too busy recreating what ETH has done instead of innovating. That's true. That's true. There is a little ego involved in there. In the long run, I think ETH will outperform ADA, but ADA is so low right now that a good investment in ADA and a good bull run can make you a lot of money. think I think we caught up with everybody. And shout out to HVAC Pro. Glad that you joined in. And thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. And Headquarters Stone, I made 15K off of Doge and then got the F out. I can appreciate that. Make your money and get the hell out of Dodge.
I mean, to take profits, it's great.
Yeah. Take profits when you can. It's never apologize for making money. That's my motto. I think we're all caught up. I don't really have any final thoughts. Shout out to your Renaissance comment about my portfolio mix earlier. I didn't even see that. I'm sorry, buddy. And shout out to Lance Curtis. Hey, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Would you trade 3K invested in XRP to Quant? No, I wouldn't trade 3K, but I would just start dollar cost averaging into Quant. I would just stop putting in the XRP and go into Quant. That's kind of how I built up my portfolio. I just slowly invested in each one. But you have more of a return on investment on Quant than you will on XRP. I don't think XRP is going to hit the levels that everyone says it's going to. More like 450, 550 for me.
Sorry about that, Fire King.
Oh, I read it. Did I read it? Oh man, I'm gonna show you how bad my memory is. Like 30 minutes ago. Can I even go back that far in the comments there, buddy? Oh, I see your comment there, your answer. I didn't even talk about that. Will an expanded war to Lebanon and Iran be the next Black Swan event? No, but it is definitely going to make well, it's going to make the defense contractors wealthy, but it is going to make the energy crisis worse for everybody. But we will be fine on food. It's going to hurt everyone else with food, but we will be fine because we export a lot of our grain, wheat, barley, and soy. So that's probably not going to affect us. But like Europe and Europe-based companies, they're going to get hammered. Man, I'm sorry, everybody. I just can't seem to find it. Oh, okay. I see your Renaissance. Okay, what do you think of a portfolio with tech stocks, military equipment, cryptos, and some oil? Well, oil is definitely going to go on the rise, especially if we have a war in the Middle East. Um, I like the defense contracts invested in there because it's definitely going. They're definitely going to go gangbuster, and I've been thinking about Lucent Technologies for a long time. Shout out to Cody. He's watching from work. The Turkish government's going to be regulating crypto and taxing crypto next year. Shout out to Knowledge. Welcome in. Glad to have you in here.
Hope you're doing well, Cody.
Yeah, I know he's working the grind out there. Raytheon is going to be a good one too. HVAC Pro and crypto is definitely going to be good. Tech stocks, I'm not too sure. Tech stocks are going to get hit hard because I think the innovation is done with the tech industry, and the next innovative industry is really going to be the space industry. which will propel tech a little bit, but tech's tech's pretty much done. It's advanced as far as it's going to advance. People are talking about AI, but that's all hype because AI programs to where we want it, where we want the capabilities that are in the movies, we're like several hundred years away from that.
Right.
And we don't even have quantum computing yet to be able to handle software like that. Like our even the average person's brain cannot be put into an AI program because it's just too massive amount of a data. So you need quantum computing for AI to really be effective. But I didn't mean to cut you off there,
Oh,
Crypto.
I was just, I got a couple people that actually know. My cousins went to Oklahoma University for computer engineering, and then I have a buddy that's a computer engineer, and they've had terrible results when they try to use it. Like one of my buddies, he sends me messages all the time about when he tries to use it, and it just doesn't work. So, I mean, like, the thing though is it's like it can be as slow learning as it wants, or like, I mean, like it could take forever, but when it does actually start picking up steam, it's just going to be an avalanche. It'll be overwhelming.
Yeah, I guess it when it does get there and the technology can match what AI can have true potential with, it will uh it will be there. But right now, it's like people are saying AI is the next this, AI is the next that. AI can barely do my schedule for my moving company.
Right.
Like it now it is good. I could type stuff into it and can reword stuff and say it a little better. It's a little intuitive, but like a marketer, like marketing will be suffered from it. A secretary will be suffered because like I don't even need someone to be by my computer to handle my little chat bot on the on my website for my moving company. It's but as far as like having AI running a warehouse for Amazon, we're a long way off of that. And shout out to Head Cornerstone. We might never get quantum computing. Yeah, it's just one. We need a better energy source other than oil and green energy. We need the ultimate green energy, which is fission, nuclear fission, followed by nuclear fusion, and we stopped nuclear fission and we're not investing in nuclear fusion. So it's it's like we're like a little bit, we're not just there yet, and we need a lot of tungsten, iridium, platinum, gold. We just need materials that can handle the next step of technological evolution, and we're only going to get those by getting our butts out into space. You're not going to find those on the planet. So we're kind of limited. It's like we're in the middle generation or middle era. So the next era that will happen after us will be spacefaring, but right now we're just kind of stuck in the middle. The best we can hope for is mining colonies, get the uridium, and then maybe in like 50 years we might be working our way towards that. Alrighty, and Crypto Dreams got to go, so we got to end it all. So I'll let Crypto Dream hop off and go have dinner with his kids and family.
Appreciate you
But
guys.
hey, thank you for being on board.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I hope we can do this again next week and every week for you guys because I'd like to give you guys some more creative content as we go forward. But I'm going to stay on, take your guys' questions as we keep going because it seems like we're just getting a lot of questions, and I don't like to leave any of you guys hanging. But
See
thanks
you
for
guys.
Dream. Follow his channel, like and subscribe to him on YouTube and on TikTok. Let's help each other grow.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye bye. Alrighty, and so let me get to these last ones. And shout out to Head Cornerstone. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that there. Shout out to Knowledge. BlackRock has a nice quantum computer. They have one, but it's not as complex as what quantum computing can really be. Um, I think the most powerful one is actually in the Pentagon right now. Uh, Head Cornerstone Media, Bitcoin to 40K or 20K first. Probably to 20K first. I think we're gonna cap out at like 36K, and we're gonna start going down if we haven't started going down already. Shout out to Kit. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for the support. Is Matic time to sell or buy? In my opinion, it's we're getting ready to buy it. I have it on my list of gaming tokens to buy. Shout out to Bullet Labs. I disagree about AI. Um, I know it has a lot of potential, but is nowhere near where we think it's going. It is at this moment. Shout out to Head Cornerstone. Google is the closest, and they're still far away. Yeah, exactly. And shout out to your Renaissance. It's a shortage of heavy ammo due to the conflicts going on. Yeah, yeah. We're having to mass produce a lot of that. Uh, Shout out to Crypto Caddy. I believe 20K first. Hope 20K Bitcoin first. Yeah, I would love it to go to 20K so I could dollar cost average in and make a little bit more off of it in my long term hold. Oh, I do see it. We finally broke it. We're almost to 16K. Wow. Shout out to Head Cornerstone. Cost is going to be insane next bull cycle. I believe so too. It's in one of my like as soon as we get this next final drop in crypto, it's one of my ads for my bag. And I think you're talking about Caspa. Oops. Let's see here. And thank you to everyone that's donated in. Um, Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And yeah, Caspa is definitely on my watch list for you guys. I can't really talk about enough render as well. Yeah, Cody and I did a whole video on render. You could watch the replay on YouTube. We did a whole live, I think about 4 months ago on it. It is definitely on my watch list. There's about 10 to 15 cryptos that are on my watch list that I'm going to make major investments in, and that I'm steadily putting money aside. I'm just waiting for that big dip. Shout out to Cali, 40K Bitcoin first to take some profits to buy other coins, then 20K. I hope it's like that because I would take some profits too. Shout out to Jonathan. Welcome back in. Thanks for your support. What is Caspa? It's one of the tokens we are looking at. But I can certainly pull it up here. Let me refresh this then. Okay. Cas. I'll put it here on the stream. Let me just switch over. Share stream. Man, my internet is moving slow. Oops, I got the wrong one. Cas. There it is. I hit the bottom. There we go. And shout out to Crypto Dream. Thanks for the support there. Cass, it's looking like, I mean, it already had a good run up with this relief rally, but it looks like when we go to all, it is preparing for something big. It launched, what about this time last year? So, and I did a little bit of a dive into it several streams ago, but you know, they're doing a lot of things that are good for what they're trying to do. So I'm definitely going to put a pretty good heavy investment into it. Shout out to Steve Eth. It will be very hard for Bitcoin to break 31.8K, but I would love a huge dip too. Yes, I think we all would love it. Shout out to Cali. Honestly, I don't think BTC will ever go to 20K anymore with all the interest, 24.5 max. I'm kind of hoping it goes to like 21, 22, but I would love to see 20. Shout out to your Renaissance. The disadvantage with Caspa is that it lacks the ecosystem. Yes, that is true, but like all, sometimes good things take time to develop. And right now at 5 cents, you can definitely make a ton of money, even if it just goes to 50 cents. That's a 10x in itself. So just remember that. But it's low enough that you could put 1,000 in as a good investment and come back with 10,000, and I would be happy with that. If or like I'm gonna put in quite a bit, but it depends on what's going on. It is on my watch list, so I'll definitely be keeping you guys posted about it. And stay tuned to the Patreon. If you want to support the Patreon, links above, and you can kind of come in and excuse me, and you'll get when I'm buying and selling my cryptos as they go. Shout out to Joy. Thanks for the follow. Glad to have you in here. Really appreciate that support, buddy. I think I finally caught up on all your guys' questions. Man, you were just guys blitzing with them. Might have to introduce a rule. Gotta gotta pay to be in front of the line. Shout out to your Renaissance. It's already pumped a bit. Yeah, it pumped a lot. 25% already. Overall, like 27,000%. So it seems like we missed it, but we haven't missed anything yet. But if during the bull run, I'm kind of hoping it breaks $1. That's my hope. And I hope I can get a massive bag in it before that bull run happens. Just my opinion. But with that said, I think I'm caught up with everybody. Definitely appreciate everything in there. Everything that you guys have done. We've had quite a long stream, but I think we're about ready to call it quits. Shout out to Ocean Life, Florida. Glad to have you in here. I have 300 quant. Hey, there you go. That's a good start. Good start there, buddy. And I hope you can have those diamond hands where you can get some real gains on them, and hope you can make some cut some profits off of that, and reinvest in some other things like real estate and things like that. Shout out to Cali, new record, Sal, 17K in likes. Oh yeah, new record. Thank you guys. Oh, we're definitely. There's been 3 hours of streaming today, one in at lunchtime and everything. And those of you just joined in who are longtime supporters, I just closed on another 65 doors for my real estate company. So that's why it took so long for me to come on. It's just tons of paperwork. Shout out to Ocean Life, Florida. That's one of 3 deals. I'll check back. Shout out to your Renaissance, your opinion, Morpheus or Ocean. Honestly, I couldn't give you an opinion there, buddy. I just haven't checked into either one. But you know what? I could check in later tonight and kind of go and be able to go over those with you, and then I'll have an answer for you on tomorrow's stream if that's okay. Shout out to Tommy. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. Appreciate your support. Shout out to Callie. I know we're super early, but I'm getting excited about the possibilities of the bull run. Yeah, I'm telling you about it. I'm getting excited too. And thank you to your Renaissance. Thanks for supporting the live. Really appreciate that. And shout out to I think it was Crypto Gray. Someone came up here. I can't remember. I seem to have misplaced it. Yeah, but shout out to you guys. Definitely glad to have you in here. Hopefully you enjoyed this live, because I want to do this more often with Crypto Dream, and trying to work with other creators to give you guys better content. Oh, there you are. Shout out to Derek Brown. Thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that. I still got some time. I'll give you guys this. I'll try to make it to 2 hours for you guys, especially on TikTok, because you guys have been wonderful supporters and joining the live. So if you got to answer any more questions anyone has, but I know it's like 6:50 on a Friday. You guys got family, date night, whatever. I'm just a boring businessman I'm married to my businesses. So, and they're relentless. But hey, thank you, your Renaissance. Thanks for all the support on the live, and definitely had some great questions. I like your portfolio. It's definitely well diversified there. So I hope you just can take profits when you're ready to take profits and have a liquidity strategy ready for that oil, because it don't hold the oil too long, because it definitely has to sell. It's definitely going to be sold, and you want to make sure you get the right price. Uh, Shout to Callie, responding to your Renaissance. Both are good projects. I've been stacking both, but more Morpheus personally prefer. Yeah, I'll have to look into those, because like I said, I usually crypto. I stay to blue chip stocks. Very rarely do I reach out to try to go to another one. But definitely glad to have you guys. Definitely glad to have you guys bring those to my attention, and I could do that. Gives me more fodder for doing those crypto picks, because I have a hard time finding picks. I'm good at picking stocks, but hard at picking the right picking the right crypto to review for you guys. So I want to try to keep that content fresh for you guys as well. Uh, and for those of you who would like to get more, just kind of update on the Patreon. More videos are coming. I am going to do, if there's anybody that is interested in starting a business, or has a business going, and you want some coaching, some help on that I can be more than happy to, because after 6 years of running the moving company, 4 years running the logistics company, investing in other people's businesses over the last 2 years, and analyzing businesses, I definitely can help you out with that. um, I'm trying to think of an affordable price to put everything at for you guys, and to give you more exclusive content, such as, of course, you're going to get, I'm going to force feed you merchandise down there, like free merchandise. I just like giving away free shirts. So you guys will be getting a free Simply Investing hat, and the Trade Degenerately, Invest Degenerately shirt, because someone a couple months ago coined that, and Cody and I have been running that since then. So we definitely appreciate all that support. Let me end that call there. Um, Man, I think we're fine. Oh, the record still keeps going. We're up to 18K in likes, so definitely appreciate that. Shout out to your Renaissance. You're a nice guy. Oh, I try to be. I try to pay it forward as much as possible. And I'm hoping that we can get this channel going to, because Cody's working some terrible jobs to really, he's not just supporting himself, he's also kind of supporting his parents, as unfortunately they got hit hard by, I guess, like 10 years ago or something, like during the Great Recession. I think it was about 10, 12 years ago. I remember telling that. So they're kind of in their 60s, and they're not in where most 60-year-olds should be. So he doesn't want to end up like them, but he is supporting and paying his share of rent for them. Unlike some of his other slacker siblings, but Cody's definitely working hard. He's working two jobs that he doesn't like, but he really likes crypto and stuff. So hopefully we can turn this into a good avenue for him to be able, because Cody has a mind for crypto. It's just getting to pull it out of him a little bit more. Trust me, it took me a solid year for me to get him to come onto these lives. A solid year for him to agree to start this channel, and we're coming up I think another 5 months will be a year for us on streaming, and I think he'll finally be fully comfortable. But I appreciate the thoughts. Your Renaissance. Uh, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are great supporters, and I hope that you guys benefit from this greatly. And hopefully you avoid my pitfalls, because I'm telling you, I've been catching so many L's in the last 5 years. I've definitely got the Giants beat. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Hopefully I can chat with Cody one day. Yeah, hopefully. His time just doesn't line up right now, and then his days off are starting to fill up with his second job. So I mean, the dude's a hustler. Dude's working. He definitely does not have a mindset of a 23-year-old. He has a mindset of like a 40-year-old. So he is definitely going to have a successful path. He's already has like a 20K plus portfolio, and when this bull run happens, he's definitely going to break a million. He doesn't think so, but I know he's going to break a million. I know he is off of what he's doing, and hopefully he can make the right decisions. Um, and hopefully he doesn't get messed up with the wrong woman, and that puts him down the wrong path. Nothing like cold coffee. Alrighty. I think that's man. Well, maybe I can stay on until we get to 20K. See a lot of you guys liking in here. But if we're all done with the questions, ooh man, getting tired here. You're pushing this my old body to work here, and I gotta go work out after this. Oof. Um, let's see here. I think I got everybody. I'm gonna have to do research on that. I already got those notes down. Well, if you're wondering about the real estate property, it was a complex that was in Tulsa area. It's definitely it was a nice project. I've been eyeing it for 6 months because it went on sale, got delisted, then put back, was then delisted and back. And we decided like 2 weeks ago, but my brother put in some money, I put in some money, and then we were having a hard time even with 808. My brother's got 850 credit score, and we just couldn't get it done. It's like it took forever to get that loan pushed through. So, but we're glad that we got it pushed through finally, and that we were able to close on that property. We officially have it today. Now we got to go through and talk to the property manager next week. Also, probably look at the vacant units, come up with a renovation plan, changing the countertops because countertops were those cheap particle board ones, and I don't like doing that to people. I want to put nice granite ones in. Costs a little bit more. I might have to raise the rent like $100, but you're gonna have better appliances, better counters, better wood floors and everything. Just a better living experience. So I think it's good. Shout out to Crypto Dream. Yeah, we did hit 20K, 20.3. So I guess I can call it a night here. And so, but I really appreciate you guys in. I think everybody's kind of checking out now because it is a Friday, and we all got better things to do. But really appreciate you guys. If you can go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, follow us on TikTok. Those are free. We really appreciate those. If you want to give a little bit more support, you can join the Patreon. $3 a month gives you all early access to all videos, gives you direct access to Discord. It also gives you access to any Patreon exclusive content, and you'll get to see when those 20 slots are going to open up. I'm going to start it on Wednesday, but we're not going to do the first consultations until actually I'm going to open it up on the 1st. November 1st is when it will open up. I'll have a price for you guys tomorrow on those as I try to figure out what's a fair value of time because each person, there's only going to be 20 spots. I can only do 5 on 8 each Sunday. So 5 or 6 each Sunday. So just be careful with that. And I may have to reschedule some of you guys occasionally, but I will try to work those in. I'll only open it up for like 5 days, and then whoever decides to book in there, that's what it will be, and you'll have that for that month, and you can either opt out for that month or we can continue on for next month. But having someone to coach you through bookkeeping, marketing, targeting your audience, analyzing your business, analyzing the numbers, fixing the numbers, planning your numbers, and interviewing and attracting the right people and just building your business. All those things I learned the hard way along the way. And I think I got my success model now after 6 years, and after 4 other businesses that didn't make it, that failed, that I started before my moving company. So overall, like 10 solid years of building. So, but just keep in mind, every brick helps, especially if you're trying to start a business. Every brick helps to get to where you want to go, even though you might not seem like you're having for progression. You will have some progression. Shout out to Joy. How much? I don't know yet. I honestly don't know yet. I really couldn't tell you just yet. I'm trying to think of a fair value because I don't want to. It's not going to be like a ridiculous amount, and nothing like a lot of these YouTubers have, where it's like $1,000 for an hour. I don't even pay my attorney that my attorney for my businesses. I don't even pay him that an hour. I'm sorry, not him, her that an hour. I pay her like $300 an hour. That's absurd. I'm not even that level. I'm not going to charge you that, but it will be for an hour at a time. But I will give you my personal number, and you can direct message me anytime. Especially since because I know running a business, sometimes you don't get the spark until like 9 o'clock at night, and we had the coaching session like at 4 o'clock. So I get it. So that's why you'll have that access to me, and you're paying for that access for any time. And I will try to help you. Just keep in mind, sometimes my even my personal phone gets busy and gets and I might miss your first text. So just bear with me and just send the message. And if you're DMing me on any socials, um, definitely restate it because sometimes you get buried by all the notifications. Shout out to Upsold. Slow motion is better than no motion. And shout out to Cali X2. Fist bump back to you, buddy. And I think I'm gonna call it a night. We hit 21K likes, our newest live, but definitely join our newest record, and definitely help support the channel. We are trying to hire an editor, but when I say hire, I'm not trying to hire someone for shit wages. So, but as you guys know, if you're ever going to run a successful business, I can't take on expenses until we start earning enough off of either ad revenue or until the channel just grows. I'm hoping it doesn't take a couple years. I've been watching other people, and it's taken a couple years, but I think we've been growing at about 10 to 12% per day as far as following. So we're probably going to get monetized pretty quickly, and that'll help us get an editor, and then they can start editing these videos instead of me like 1 hour a night trying to do it. But I think I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Definitely make sure you do your own research before investing. Like and follow, subscribe. If you go to YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that way you get notified when the lives happen all the time. But with that said, guys, I'm checking out. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your Friday night. Stay safe out there, and don't party too much so that you forget the night, because it's never a good time if you forget the night. But have a wonderful night. I am checking out. Thank you, guys. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. for what's in your portfolio, or not what's in your portfolio, what's in your business. All right. Thank you, guys, and